Welcome to the Loyal Locals Podcast, episode 47. Mr. Drew Steck getting started. What's going on, man?
Yeah, dude, I'm very excited about this drink. So I'm watching it pour as we roll into this intro. 'Cause I'm excited for this week.
I like that color. We'll talk about what that is right now. Mr. Steve Brokaw, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Different scene. For me today. The high school behind my house had a nice band practice that went really late, and I didn't want for that to be the soundtrack in my audio tonight. So I set up in my garage. As you can see, my washer and dryer behind me, and
You should be recruiting drummers, Steve.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. Good practice, guys. Good practice on Saturdays. Yeah, but a little bit of a different setup for me today, but we're excited nonetheless.
Hey, it works for everybody that's watching here. Thank you for joining us. Welcome in live to the show. If you're listening and we're in your ear, it's no different to you where Steve is. So welcome anyways. And thank you for listening to us. This is episode 47, titled Car Washes and Donuts. Drew, before we talk about our beers, man, why car washes and donuts? What's going on here?
Car washes is pretty obvious because we got a clean sheet, but donuts is so I was checking out Austin Guerrero's Instagram. I think it was Tuesday morning, and was like, "Hey, donuts, nice." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I get donuts for the guys if we get a shutout." I thought that was cool. And I said, "Zeros for heroes," since they're
nice,
shaped like a zero.
I like it.
But yeah, there you go.
I didn't see that.
You get a zero, you get a donut. Yeah,
very cool. I like it. That's a very cool thing. That's very clever.
It's a scoop. Yeah, I DM'd him and he was like, "Yeah, here's what I'm doing." So that's why car washes and donuts. We get the car washes, they get the donuts, I guess.
Nice. Well, I think they get car washes too. By the way, I just got my free car wash coupon today in the mail. In the email? In my email?
Same.
In the mail, not in the mail. They don't send it out. They email it because they're not old like we are.
Mine came via carrier pigeon. Yeah.
Carrier pigeon. No, and I finally got it. So yes, it is true. It is real. We actually do all get car washes. Okay, guys. And I saw that some people were like, "Is this just a ploy to get our emails?" No, it's actually...
no, but I think the last time it happened, I submitted and I did not get a code. So I think there's people who were legitimately griping because they didn't get one, and I know I didn't get one.
It went straight to junk for almost everyone, even if you did get it. So I think that was part of it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, today mine came in regularly, so maybe they changed something. Maybe I changed something. I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting.
Mine worked great too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Their system might have been just not working quite the way that it should have the first time around. They weren't expecting so many people wanting to get their car washed.
We should have gotten more shutouts this year. We got more clean sheets. I think we would have had more tests to the system. It's halfway through the season, and they've only had to do it twice. So, but it's been
for them.
Exactly. It's been a great promo for them, but I'm happy to get a car wash. I desperately need it here at this point in the summer. I know most people do in our dust bowl of a city that we live in. So that, and then don't BYOD, bring your own donuts to the car wash and donut party here.
Nice. Talking about car washes and donuts, we have also our own little tradition that we do, Drew. So since you already were pouring your beer, you get to start today, man. What are you drinking? Obviously, Mother Earth Brewing.
Mother Earth Brewing. I already relocated the can. Hop Diggity.
Nice. Double IPA.
It's a double IPA. Yeah, it's their general double IPA. I saw the can. I went, this looks beautiful. I just wanted something to drink in a park that was nice. This ended up being the other half of that. And now it's deliciously going in my mouth. But Mother Earth up near Steve, and then also in Idaho. Is that where their second production facility is? In Boise, I believe.
Yeah, it's outside of Boise, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. It's neat to see San Diego breweries kind of almost take over the world sometimes. Be like, wow, we're here, we're everywhere. You go see tap handles all over the country, and you'll see great beer from here. But this is one that's right here and delicious. So Hop Diggity can't. It's been a while since I've had a double IPA that didn't just it wasn't trying to do anything too hard, but was just good, and that's what this is.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like classic to the style of beer. Like if you're gonna give me an IPA, I want an IPA and I want some crazy tasting IPA. Once in a while, I want to have something that's what would you say, experimental. But that double IPA I've had before too. Solid.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you having, man?
I am having a Pure Project beer, and I think like I talked about last week, very dangerous that this beer project is now literally the closest brewery to my house. So this one is
so
called
good.
Dankness Rising. It's a collaboration with a brewery up in San Francisco called Cellar Maker. So Pure Project and Cellar Maker, Dankness Rising. It's a unfiltered West Coast double IPA. So Drew on that double
Ooh,
train,
yeah, double
8.3%.
train.
But their can
Unfiltered
art
though,
is always
murky.
gorgeous. And
It looks like a murky constellation for everybody watching.
Yeah, it's a
watching
little,
through their ears.
it's a little different. It's a little different than normal their normal murky stuff, but I'm a bigger fan of the non-murky stuff. But their beer is amazing no matter what. So
they make some of the best
this
unfiltered
is
and murky
incredible.
stuff.
This is
I
incredible.
think in town, which is saying something because a lot of good murky stuff is made. But yeah, they're they can't do any wrong.
We're kind of spoiled here with that type of beer, and also the word dank. I love that word so much. Dank.
I know.
Anyway,
all right, Mr. Woodward, what do you drink? What
Dank
are you drinking?
FC.
Talking about dank beer. Creative Creature, of course, because I'm a creature of habit. See what I did there? Brew
pretty creative.
Pomeranz is what I'm having. It's a brew
Pomeranz.
Brew Pomeranz.
Brew Pomeranz. Oh, that's pretty good.
The sour ale with pomegranate, raspberry, and lime.
They've continued with their Padres themed beer.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is called Brew Pomeranz. It has nothing. There's nothing here to do with the Padres whatsoever. Because that would be wrong, and Padres are copyright. So I don't know what you're talking about, Steve. I got you, Creative Creature. Yeah. Cheers to everybody. If you're here, there's a few of you here watching live. What are you drinking? Even if it's water, let us know. You're drinking water. You're drinking something.
I got a question for you guys. What do you think? There's been a lot of Padre themed beers. Crack that, Jerry. As Steve said, but the for the locals, not the locals, but for loyal, what will we say in terms of players? Who would be the first player on loyal to get their own beer? What would you call it?
Corey.
Okay. It'd be a Dr. Pepper flavored stout. What would Corey's beer be?
Yeah, probably something like that.
That sounds like a actually really good beer.
Or come on, like Grant Stoneman. Come on, that's pretty good.
Oh, that's too easy. That's the lowest hanging fruit possible, bro.
I would go with like Blake and like a brown, like a typical English brown, but like kind of spice it up a little bit. Maybe throw some red into that brown a little bit, something like that. Like your typical English thing, but then spiced up, right? Like Jack Blake. He's got that, but he's also got this kind of just different energy that he's always keeping with him. So I would put that into the mix there. Blake Brown.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know what I would say.
Bring Blake the Brown.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna take some of the low hanging fruit too, and just say, what if it's just like a mixed drink, and we do like an Elijah Martini?
Ooh,
that's pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Pizza Port Snack Porter. Is Oscar's having a pizza port snack?
That sounds delicious.
Order. Silky chocolate in a glass, he said. Ooh, man, we're so spoiled here. Okay, so let's get into this, and we'll keep talking about some beers as we go. Nick finally came out of retirement. He retired his drinking for a month, and he is back. He said he might crack open a cold one. So join us, man. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. And it's because of me. I'll put it all on me. We missed out last Tuesday. It's been crazy, and so we have some stuff to talk about. We have a lot to talk about, so we need to get into it. We're going to be talking about the obviously the match against Tacoma, 1-1 against the Los Dos match. Some things happened there, and then we're going to get into some locals topics. So let's do it. What do you say, guys?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Oh man! So remember we talked about last week how I said there's no reason why we can't get 4 points out of 2. Well, we didn't, and we started out not so great this road week, right? It's officially the middle of the season, by the way. So this is when we start kind of really looking into what our club looks like as a whole on the field. Really, really, now it's time to say, okay, tell them crack down, take advantage of where we are, and let's make sure that we stay there, and if possible, even if we get that chance, get into a second place or first place if Phoenix decides to start dropping some points. So when do you do it? You have to do it on the road. At home, we do come back for a few games. Actually, we should probably talk about that later as well. But this loss against Tacoma, again, away, I don't know, man. Tacoma is not what we were expecting. I think that we took them too lightly coming into this match, and here we go. It was a really odd match for me because it felt like we could have done a lot more with what we had, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like starting at the lineup, it was definitely not, I would say, the A team, right? I mean, Colin Martin wasn't starting. That was kind of, what's that about? Some of our new signings were in, and not that that's not an A squad, but it takes time to get acclimated to the tactics, to the rest of your teammates, to kind of the system. So I was a little surprised to see that, especially knowing that we already played at Tacoma and we did lose that game. So I thought we were going to kind of go out guns blazing and really try to take this to them. But obviously, we've talked about this a lot, that there's going to need to be rotations, and we're going to need to really test the depth of this squad. And here was kind of that chance, and it seemed like it didn't really work out for us. And at the end of the day, so it really sucks. But I agree. I mean,
just real quick, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I didn't catch that until I started talking about or looking at the notes and looking at the lineups and things like that. You just mentioned Colin Martin. He was not in the 18 in neither Tacoma game or the Galaxy 2. So that was interesting.
Right. And all we know is lower body injury. USL is, coy with their injury remarks.
That's right. He was injured. That's right.
Right. A lower body injury.
Yeah, we kind of anticipated, some rotations, and it happened here, and it seemed like we never really had a lot of control. We never really had that aspect. It kind of felt like how we played at the beginning of the season in Tacoma, where now this team is so much better than that, but it seemed like we kind of played that same way. Kind of wish we had a little bit more. I know we'll get through it with the timeline, but in the second half, we had some subs that came on. It seemed like that changed things and really picked things up, but we just couldn't kind of eke that equalizer at the end of the day. So it really sucks.
Yeah, it felt like we had a lot of new players kind of mixing in, right? Kind of starting or playing positions throughout the whole game that typically they hadn't yet due to injuries, due to squad rotation, and then they fell flat. Just whatever reason, they opened flat. They couldn't, hit the goal well. I think that was part of the issue, is when you're not, getting the ball near the goal, you're not going to be being competitive. So in the first half, they controlled, but again, we're not getting shots on goal and shots on target the way we probably want to. And this was kind of all of those things coming to roost in a game where we're better than our competition. We look better than them, but we're not scoring. So I think that's where, to me, I think there's maybe a thought process of like, hey, what's going on with the defense in terms of obviously not having the same personnel here consistently across most of the season. And then, additionally on the front half, not having that. They had some interesting looks, but, it seemed like almost out of necessity in the next match, they play a little better versus this, first match of the week. You wanted to see them be more offensive, possibly. And that just wasn't the case. So the first half just kind of pedaled on. We've seen this a decent amount from this team, but you feel like if we score first in that second half, it would have been key, right? Mm-hmm. Come out quick and score. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. We come out within 5 minutes. You get Tacoma to score first. And when that's happened to us traditionally as a club, we have not fared well at picking up points. And we did respond pretty quickly. So anything on the Tacoma goal, or do you want to get to the response here?
Well, I would say just that, that's a good point about the players that maybe typically wouldn't be starting. We haven't really seen much of Sal. I don't think that, Sal is a starter. I think it's very much somebody that can come in as a great sub. And he was starting this match. We had, you said new players. We had two of them, right? We had, we had Haji, and then we had, why Boone didn't play?
Chase Boone, right?
Yeah, I could have sworn that he was actually in here.
I think he was. I'm pretty sure he was.
I thought it was his first start.
He did have a start. Yeah. You're right.
I thought he started and Haji started as Haji's first game that he's played.
Started up front with Spencer. That's yeah. So, we had those two players. Obviously, the Morgan Hackward Red was an interesting situation.
Way later in the game, yeah.
Way later in the game.
We'll get to that.
I don't think that necessarily had any impact, but before you get into the actual match itself, just a couple of stats here. 45.2 possession, to Tacoma. We beat them out with a 54.8. We had 3 offsides to their 1, 4 corners. They had 10. It doesn't it's just too much. But shots, this is where it's interesting because they had 16. We had 11. 5 of theirs were on target. 4 of ours were on target. So at least we were a little bit more efficient there with shots on target. Uh,
Sure.
but they had, like we tied shots outside the box, so that's good. Inside the box, they were able to get in quite a bit. Had 11 shots inside of the box.
You just didn't see that generation from us. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You didn't see the balls in or the cute pass from a diagonal to a forward. You just didn't see it.
Yeah, but so one of my things with this match was kind of we had rotation in the midfield and we didn't look great in midfield. It seems like we're very dependent on having our midfield be our midfield week in, week out. And like what happens later in the season if there are injuries like Colin is experiencing right now, or what if Charlie Adams goes down? Like it seems like that midfield needs to be very consistent for us to perform well. And I'm worried about that, like especially going forward in the playoffs. If one of those guys is out, and all of a sudden we have to play Phoenix or RGV or Tacoma or somebody in the playoffs who's really kind of taken the matches to us, we've kind of shown that we're really dependent on having our midfielders be healthy and consistent. And I just kind of worry about what's going to happen if all of a sudden we need to change something there and then it's not clicking. And then we just seem like we're out of control of the match. And maybe just a bad example, but I just, when you get a glimpse into it, it kind of lets your head run wild. And that's kind of where mine's going right now. Like, I just worry about what if we don't have all of our guys in critical matches going forward. What's that going to do for us going forward this season? So kind of just my 2 cents, but it's a little worrisome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big worry.
Yeah. It's we were expecting a lot more from these guys, I would say, and this match just
Sure.
It showed us that there's still some holes to fill. There's still some work to be done there, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's but it's also not a great thing halfway through the season. With again Muse starting, I think he's doing everything that he possibly can, to defend back there. But he has had no games where he's been able to have a shutout.
Yeah.
And do you say that's more Muse, or would you put that more on our defense?
I don't know. I think it's tough, right? I think in this match specifically, Tacoma, yeah, they like Jerry, like you said, they scored early, and then there was a couple injuries. I think both of the center backs got injured. I think Callum and Grant Stoneman both went out injured, right? Obviously Callum went to the hospital, which I think we'll get to in more detail, but they both were out injured. So then there were some subs that had to happen, and that's never easy for a goalkeeper to kind of usher the back line properly like that. So it's hard. It's really hard to say, right? Trey's really kept us in a lot of games. I think especially those first 4 games of the season when we were, obviously we were 0-4, but Trey has had an incredible run of form. It's just, I just don't think it's really worked out for him to get a clean sheet. Obviously Austin started 2 matches and he's gotten 2 clean sheets. So it seems like there's correlation there, but at the same time, you can really see the quality that Trey brings. And I think he's kept us in a lot of games that we could have easily dropped points in. So I think it's more just a happenstance than it is, correlation or causation, but the evidence is, it means something. So it's not black and white. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't see practice. We don't see a lot of things that might factor into this, in terms of who's getting selected and why. And Austin specifically, I know they said last year they liked playing him against the Galaxy because of his ability to kind of push the ball more with his leg upfield and stretch their players a little bit more, having to run back and then chase the ball. So I know that's something strategically that they've decided to do, and that's why they might employ Austin versus Trey, right, in certain matches. But his organization of the back line is to be commended. Trey's still younger in his career. It's a point I've made a few times, is that he's a great keeper, but I think that there's certain things mentally that Austin just seems to do really well, that he did very well in this match to make sure that it just never really became a massive problem for them. You get lucky a little bit, but you also do a good job of making sure your defense knows where to be. And that's where, with this shifting back line, having a little bit more of that captaincy, and not that Trey doesn't. You see him barking and making sure people need to be where they are, but just reading the game before it happens almost. Just because you might have seen a few more balls your way is definitely in Austin's corner, and he's done a great job when he's had his opportunities this year. So, you hope you can give him more opportunities, but at the same time, I can't say that that's because the other keeper has been not doing his job. It seems to be that one of the things that Austin does really well is that we've had a very organized back line. I've never felt very unsafe the 2 games that he did, captain the defense there. So that's what I'm looking for moving forward, is to see if Trey can do a little bit of owning that space, which he's done, punching the ball and being very aggressive in terms of coming out at stuff. So I don't think it's necessarily a technical thing. I think it's just more so a comfortability. Honestly,
and while we're on the goalkeeper topic, sorry Jerry, and I stole your turn, but while we're on this topic, like that first Tacoma goal, which I thought was early, but I must be thinking of a different match. The 50th minute, I believe he had a pretty bad error on that first goal, right? That if I'm remembering correctly, I mean that was basically 140 minutes ago of soccer, but I believe he had a pretty bad error going into that, and that's got to hurt the confidence. But ultimately, like I said, I just kind of went on a Trey Muse praise train right there. He's kept us in a lot of matches, and his quality as a goalkeeper is absolutely evident. He made a mistake, and it's hard to eat. Goalkeepers are really expected to be perfect, but it is hard to see that. And then obviously Austin in the next match, he shines. I guess we'll see who's going to be starting these next couple matches.
Well, and we'll talk a little bit about this goalkeeper a little bit more as we talk about Los Dos, because there's some thoughts that have to be put out there that I kind of want to squash before we get to that point. But before we do that, I would say, when you said it was an early goal, and I was like, wait a minute, the whole first half, for the most part of this match, we definitely had a lot more control than they did, and that was nice to see. However, we go back to what we keep talking about on the show, which is capitalizing on them and being able to put that ball in the back of the net, taking those opportunities and actually making something of them. It's great if we're given those chances. It's great if we can create those chances and those opportunities or whatever, but it's one thing to do that. It's another thing to actually put the ball in the back of the net and make them count. Because otherwise it doesn't matter how many opportunities we create, because the ball needs to go in the back of the net. That's how you win games.
And I would say we didn't. I mean, I think we created some opportunities, but I would argue that we had more possession. But possession without purpose it's meaningless, right? I mean,
you got to build.
You can control the match, but just because you're passing it around and you have more possession doesn't really mean you're doing much with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah. No, and to go back to that goal, it was a cross, almost like a cross across the box. He should have easily cleaned up, that he spilled back to a offending player for the other team, who came in and just kind of struck it right behind him. So it was definitely a gaffe, definitely something where, again, you look at that and you look at the highlights, and it's hard to not make that case of looking at possibly shaking it up. But to the point, we still need what we just talked about. We need the offense to score, and as you said, the midfield has been kind of, when we're going to look at the next match here, what worked in this match was sometimes when we pushed it through the midfield well, but again, the purpose of linking that possession to actually something attributing in the final third just didn't happen, as you said, in the first half here. And very quickly, it seemed like after that spill of a goal, we did get our goal in the 55th minute there, and it was a reactionary kind of, we've seen them, hey, when we're down, they step on the gas and they play hard, and they do tend to produce results almost immediately, which is great. But it's like, where was this for the first 55 minutes of the match to really just link up and get shots on? And so, coming up there, you have a great kind of ping from Toomey down to Miguel, and it's to Toomey there, from Ibarra to Toomey, and then Toomey crosses it in. I'm just watching the highlight here, and kind of glances it off his head, right, kind of across the goal. Really beautiful header to redirect and kind of send right into the right corner, exactly where he wanted it to be. So what was your kind of thoughts on the production there, and two players who the beginning of the season might have been a little frustrating. It was nice to see them link up for the goal. That's kind of how I felt about it.
I feel like almost every great player and those that have a really good history of being fantastic players, they sometimes, not always, sometimes, most times, rely on people around them to make them great. And it's those that, just basically help and enhance that skill that's there for these players. And I think that Ibarra is one of those players. And we're seeing it to where he's starting to mesh a lot better with the guys.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning when he was with this club, we were expecting great things from him. And it's taken a little while, but it's getting there, and I do think that he's starting to see those open spaces for our guys, and he's gonna be very much like a Guido person who's gonna get that ball to somebody else to put the ball in the back of the net. Once in a while, they'll have a look at it, and they'll get their opportunities. But I think Ibarra to Moshe Bane was great, and
Yep.
like you said, coming for 5 minutes after that Tacoma goal, and they said no, we're not giving up. They keep going. It's great to see, and I think that needs to continue. But they also need to make sure that they're defending at the same time because 10 minutes later, Tacoma takes the lead again.
Yeah.
And obviously, in between there, we have to throw this in there because it wouldn't be a San Diego Loyal game without Grant Stoneman getting a yellow. So that was right in between those two goals. Grant, kid, oh my God, I don't even know what to say with this guy. I love
it's a thing when the club even says it's not a game until Grant gets a yellow. And
What
like,
are the?
okay,
I know.
yeah.
What are the suspension rules? I want somebody, an expert like Alan, to chime in and ask us what and tell us what the suspension rules are, because it seems like they've got to exist, and he's got to be creeping up into them. So
he is the type of player from actually not from soccer, but from minor league hockey. If you've ever watched like the Bruiser. Yeah, he's the destroyer, and it's just like these guys like talk about how many penalty minutes they've got or like whatever. Like for him, that's yellows. It's like, yeah, I got a yellow in like 20 consecutive matches. It's a record. Like
I feel like USL should come out and give at the end of the year awards like a NYCP, like a most yellow carded player award, because Grant for sure will take that. Like we may not win anything, but Grant Stoneman deserves an award for so many damn yellows. Enforcer, yeah, I'll call him that.
Yeah, perfect. Nice. I love it.
So, in the 88th minute, we talked about the red card already. Both teams get a red. God, guys, like, keep it together. Why are we fighting little kids, Hackward?
A guy with too many N's in his name.
How old is Kinsner, by the way, who got the red? Look him up, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
I got an error 404 on the link.
Yeah, if you try and click on certain players in the USL website, it takes you to no. They don't exist. They're
that's great.
Not real. But yeah,
he's a child. We're just gonna say
he was a child. Hackworth was definitely not as much the offender. He was the reactionary. But if you ever react on a pitch, they're gonna get you, and you do what he did. You just can't touch other people in certain areas, and you can't do certain gestures or do certain things. And so
18 he's 18 2003 born.
Wow.
Born the year I graduated.
Morgan, you're better than this. Come on. So you're more chill than this. You're a chill surfer guy. Just be like out there on the wave. You get tossed a bit, but you're not mad at the wave.
He's listening to this just like singing Shaggy right now, like it wasn't me. Okay, so
this might be one that they try and rescind the red from, but again, like I've seen it called before, so it's
I mean, I Jerry, I hear what you're saying. Why are we fighting kids? At the same time, I hear what Nick's saying. Well said. Like I don't want to see our guys get kind of manhandled without somebody stepping up and doing something about it.
Totally.
I think a red was harsh. I don't think a red was really proper there, but
agreed.
I don't hate seeing some kind of fight, not in the match specifically, but to kind of defend and stand up for each other. It kind of tells you what the squad is about and who they are to each other. Maybe reading into something minor, but that's kind of what we do here. So in an aspect, I like it. And another one, that could have been 5, 6, 7 minutes that we could have been 11 v 10. And and maybe gotten that equalizer. So there's definitely two sides to every story, and that's kind of that's a good example.
Oh yeah.
Well,
sure.
and he's a punk kid, as Jerry said. So push him back, but
That is
also
true.
know where to save your trash talk. Do something, spin him around. Do something on the field that's going to make him regret that, or get him tossed. Right? Know that you're going to take that tactical advantage. So, it's a learning opportunity. And again, they might fight it. They fought the Stoneman one earlier this year, and that was almost like a week after it happened. But it was actually pretty quickly, like 2 or 3 days, but it was all quiet. We didn't know till it was, unless, people were looking into it, and that was a pretty high profile match. So this could actually go on and not know, but also Hackworth is not as crucial to the starting lineup, so it also might just be served out versus Grant was pretty crucial to our back line at that point to make sure that he stays in there. So we'll see, but that would make him, obviously he was ineligible for the Los Dos match, but this upcoming one as well, he would just sit that out as well if that was the case, right? It's not a third game, it's just 2 games, correct?
I think it's just 2 games. Yeah.
Yeah, like most leagues.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to mention, there was a injury during this match too. I don't want to say cursed right now. We're plagued a little bit by injuries.
Got the bug.
Kalen Montgomery taken to the hospital right after the match. They, made it known that he was rushed to the hospital just to make sure everything was good. He had some upper body injuries, whatever that means.
That's all we get, man. What part of the body,
Yep.
north or south?
In or around the top portion of his body, he was hurt.
And what's kind of interesting is I'm just verifying here. He wasn't even subbed off, right? I think it was a kind of a late. It was kind of a late like goalkeeper collision, if I recall correctly. It kind of seemed like maybe a shot to maybe the shoulder or like the back or the chest or ribs or something like that. It just kind of seemed like it was a pretty rough,
like a bruise
rib,
almost,
neck, maybe something like that. Maybe just to check out before they flew home to make sure nothing was punctured or fractured or anything like that. So
damn scrappy kids.
Yeah, looks hard. Looks like it hurt, and I'm glad he's okay.
Kids got those sharp elbows.
Caleb was he did end up traveling. He was fine. He ended up traveling with the team, continued the trip, and went to LA with them as well. Obviously, he didn't play, but we had Caleb. We had then Colin out. We had who else was out? That it was another player that was on the injured list, but then also. Well, I guess we'll hold on this other injury because we got another injury in the upcoming match against those, right? And right after that, the Tacoma match. So it was, golly, can we move on from Tacoma? Is there anything?
Yeah, let's get the hell out of Tacoma. Let's get on the plane at SeaTac. Let's fly down to LAX.
So the only
down the.
I guess I'll bring us back there. But the only thing I want to say left on the Tacoma match is, it was great to see Toomey score again. Right, I mean he hasn't, and we'll get to that at Los Dos, but he kind of started intermittently, and then obviously we have a lot of attacking talent. I think minutes are hard to come by up there, and it's cool to see when he does get that start, he's making the most of it. Right now, obviously, like I said, we'll get to Los Dos, but he's tied for leading goal scorer on the squad. That's pretty dope. It's great. He was with the team last year. He's a completely different player than really any of our other attackers. Obviously, this was his 3rd goal off of his head. The 4th one wasn't, and we'll get to that. But you kind of see the emergence of what he's capable of. Right, he's playing a lot better. It seems like he's more in form. That was kind of my one bright spot out of Tacoma.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And that's what I was saying with him and Ibarra linking up. It was really nice because it did feel frustrating. They both have that extra gear and they both couldn't engage it earlier in the year. And you're starting to see a click for Toomey for sure. And that's, if he's dangerous, as they've said, he might be the most talented person on the roster if he puts it together at this level. And you've heard that from Nate. You've heard it actually, I think, from Landon before as well in interviews last year about kind of just the raw talent that was on the roster. So he's a diamond waiting to shine just because we have so many other attacking talents we're throwing up there and just trying to make it click. But he's clicking in, then on to LA we go. Or to Carson, as Jerry likes to say, the smokestacks. That's how we know we're in the right place. Herbalife building. Here we are.
Yeah, right. We play in the IKEA parking lot, actually, in Carson, as well.
Where they're just afraid of us. I mean, I've never heard people afraid of San Diegans before. I feel like generally, like out of most cities, like, oh, I might not go to Philadelphia. They're pretty intense or whatever. But like San Diegans, like, oh, don't invite them up. Can't have them come to a game. We might have to like staff the concourse or something.
They call them Los Dos, and we got them with the Dos a Cero. So I mean, it's poetry.
Yeah,
I would like to call it. It was
Los Dos
that was a little bit better, and the lineup changed there, so we could see a little bit of difference when it comes to the talent that was on the field starting. And okay, maybe I shouldn't say the talent. I should say the uh, I don't
consistency, the familiarity,
familiarity. Thank you. That's the word I was
mean,
looking for. Thank you, Steve. That's why you're in the show. Austin Guerrero being at goal again. That was really good, and I'm excited to see Austin. Not only is he a beautiful man, God damn it. Also, he's a very, very good goalkeeper, and he's just done great every time that he's come out. He doesn't get a lot of an opportunity. Obviously, we have somebody like Muse, in the back and on loan from a very, very strong MLS team. So of course there are probably going to be some requirements there, and I think that has a little bit to do with Austin Guerrero maybe not playing as much as he should. And I'm just going to throw that out there. Honestly, I do believe that one of the things that I thought was, well, are they putting Austin out there against what they would consider the easy teams? And I don't think that's the case necessarily. No. I think the 2 times that he has played, it's just worked out that way, where the teams that we played against and he was playing in were not necessarily the best at that point in time. However, also with this, being away in Tacoma, having Muse played, Muse needs a break. Austin Guerrero comes in and just, he just performs every single time. In the back, we had Elijah Martin back as well, which was nice. Caleb Montgomery was back, so that was good. We had Joshua Yarrow back there, and then Jack Metcalf. And then in the front, we had, who I missed. I think I missed a lot in the Tacoma game, which was Jack Blake as a starter. We have Toomey there. We have Guido, Ibarra. I really like those 3 up in the front, man. I really like Ibarra, Guido, and Moshe Bani in the front. Those guys are dangerous. Yeah. And I think the more they play together in the front, there's going to be some scary moments for the other teams.
And it's almost kind of crazy we don't consider Jack Blake as one of the attacking players, right? Like, but he's so talented and he's so creative and he's good on the ball. Like, he's like our fourth attacker.
He can also come back a little bit. Yeah, he can come back. Exactly. He plays that 8. So, go ahead. Sorry, Steve.
No, I interrupted Jerry. I was trying to make him continue.
Yeah, you all interrupt me, and regardless, it doesn't matter. You're fine. But go ahead. I have nothing else to add right now.
Well, yeah, Blake in this game, and it was interesting, right? So we'll get into it a bit. So first of all, we had an early goal. Felt like we haven't seen these since the days of Miguel Berry. He was the only person who could score for us for a while, but also scored early, right? That was where we controlled games really well, was when we had those early goals. The first 15 minutes, first 20 minutes, we tend to do extremely well as a club. Traditionally in our last 2 years, right? A year and a half or so. But with the system, we tend to do extremely well when we score first. So with that goal from Corey Ertzog, it was a nice little keeper being out of his depth a little bit. This is where you're playing these teams like Los Dos. You can take advantage of. They're just not next level. And sometimes they make mental mistakes that are just right there. And Corey being a very experienced player, and this is his birthday, it was almost like they left him a little birthday present where they skipped a little pass. They weren't reading it too well. He intercepts it. And Landon talked about this on his interview today with Darren Smith on the radio, but he said he would have tried to dribble it, right? That's what Landon would do because Landon's that kind of player. And he said Corey, and it's interesting, his first instinct was, 100% I want to chip this. So he goes for a great little curvy chip, and it was a nice curve to the ball, kind of right into the corner there. So he knew exactly what he was doing and where he wanted to place it. And it was a birthday shot, birthday goal for the guy in the 9th minute there. Great job by Corey. So great start. I mean, it's how you want to start almost any game, but fun to see, fun for his birthday, especially to have that kind of celebration. Steve, thoughts?
And his 70th USL goal, which is awesome.
Yeah,
it's a momentous occasion. But kind of specific to this goal, and then it'll kind of take me into my take on the match. It seems like we play a lot better when we're able to counterpress a team that wants to possess. versus a team that's willing to sit back and let us possess. We're not as good on the ball trying to be creative. We're a lot better when we can kind of play defense and then counter press the ball away. That's exactly what happened on this goal. Corey counter pressed. He stole the ball and he cut the keeper out, and he obviously chipped it in. That's amazing. It kind of reminds me of, sorry, Jerry, I know you're wearing the jersey, but it reminds me of Liverpool in their early Klopp days when they first got Salah and Sadio Mane. They would lose against, lower table teams, but they would always beat the rest of the top six, because the rest of the top six want to possess.
Wait, this is not a Liverpool jersey, but you go ahead.
I know. I'm saying I know the rivalry. That's what I'm saying. It just kind of feels like that. It feels like
Liverpool's like whatever. But
it just feels like if we can counter press and play a little bit more high energy, we're better than obviously Phoenix. The first match was really bad, but we've played them good ever since because they're a team that is kind of does more of the same, right? They want to possess, they counter press too, but I like the team when we could do that. It just depends on the opponent, right? If the opponent wants to possess and kind of control the match through that, that puts the ball in our court to counter press. If the opponent's happy sitting back, then it puts the ball literally at our feet to be creative. It's a conundrum of soccer, right? You gotta win either way. We're better at the counter pressing side of it right now, and I wonder how that's going to kind of play in the second half of this season.
Yeah, with the goal coming so early and then going into the 20th minute, I'm thinking, cool, we're good. We're doing good. We're possessing. And then the 23rd, Toomey, right? And what again, another goal in the 23rd minute where just, man, I mean, what can you say? And what was it, set up by Blake? I'm not even looking at the notes.
You are so beautiful to me, Moshobani. Thanks, Travis. It's Travis's song.
Yeah.
It going up 2-0. That's always, that's one of those like soccer scorelines where you're like, oh, yeah, we better.
Yeah, right.
Especially happened so early in the match. But at the same time with this club, I feel really confident when they score early and then they keep possession. And they did a much better job of continuing to push, which was also very interesting. They weren't just settling for the 2-0. They wanted to put more in the back, and you could see these guys just hungry for more. They were really like excited to keep pushing, keep moving forward, and they were like, "Yes, this is where we need to be." I saw a few people. So CJ Fodry was in the list, and there's a note here. I don't know which one of you two put that in here, but I did see this. There was people that wanted CJ to start over Corey on his birthday. What's wrong with you people? But yeah, CJ is gonna eventually have his shot, I believe. That guy is the future. He's super good too. So I'm excited to see him.
Recommended by Rubin, so that comes with high standards, right? Like that's a
No.
Was he
talking about CJ Fodry? You're talking about Boone.
Oh, Boone came from there. Yeah. Who did Fodry come from?
He's in
Coronado High School, right?
Buddy?
Yeah,
he's in Lotus.
Yeah, he's the select. Yeah.
Okay. So,
my bad. Mixing up players here, left and right. But
if you come here for facts, you should not listen to them.
No, this is mostly emotion. We try to be technical. Yeah,
I've said that.
That's where Alan's there.
In the last 46 episodes of this.
No. To me, right place, right time. But he's finding the back of the net where he used to square this right at the keeper last season. Right, it didn't. Yeah, and so it seems to be that he's just doing things are slowing down for him. Right, he's a very mental player. And I think with Ibarra, you saw this as well. It wasn't his feet that were broken as a player. His physical skills were very much there when he came here to train. It was that mentally he felt, and he talked about this, I think, when he almost left us and then came back, right? He was like, thank you for helping me find myself again mentally as a player and find out where I fit in and what to do. And I think, obviously, it's one thing when you're playing and training and trying to find your own individual part of that. It's another thing when you're trying to click in as a team and find other individual strengths. So it's been nice to watch those two link up. And then similarly, I think Blake and Toomey are finding more time together. They're going to be a little bit more linked up. And to our point about Blake, I think that in this game he was playing a little bit more of that central supporting mid than possibly playing up front. And so you could see ways that maybe that will be successful moving forward. But obviously, he's so dangerous in and outside the box that you want to get him more forward. And that's where it'll be interesting to see what happens with the midfield moving forward. But this was the one I was really hoping for 3 to 4 goals. I was really hoping for, trying to get that big win. And it did seem like we were pressing. It did seem like they could have gotten there. And so I'll take that a little bit, but I definitely still want to see one of these where they just trounce, especially this team that's been beaten by 5-6-0 by Las Vegas, right? Or whatever earlier in the season. Or was it the other way around? Yeah. So it's both of those teams have beat each other like that. So I feel like we should be able to pull one of those over on one of these teams at one of these points. But it was nice to see that and see the confidence, just because I'd love to see more of that. At each goal, you're going to get 200% more confidence out of each one of these players.
Yeah, no, agreed. They lost 5-0 to Phoenix. They lost. It was only a 4-3. It was 4-3.
That's right. There was 4 at one point, and then they came back. Or
let me see if
whatever.
they had any different. Oh yeah, they beat Las Vegas 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the beginning of the season.
So we should be able to do that to Vegas or somebody at some point. But that's what I was hoping for here
on paper. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we are a much better team than what we've been. We should be able to produce way more goals, I should say, than what we have. In the 27th minute, Elijah Martin goes down. Salcido gets subbed in.
Yeah,
for Elijah, like there, and that was another one.
Kind of.
If Elijah would have, stayed, I do think that maybe another one goes in. If I'm being honest.
Yeah,
he does such a good job.
I mean, Sal's technically sound, but I think Nick put it earlier. He's not. He can't really run as much as he used to be able to. He doesn't have that up and down that Elijah has, so it definitely changes our left side.
And then Yarrow, gotta talk about this goal line.
Yeah,
man.
My God,
what a save! And Yarrow has been playing amazing recently. Remember what a rocky start he has? And we're like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
no. And I mean, I think they brought him on to take on the place that they were expecting Ebenezer Akan was going to take, and we don't know what Akan ever would have been like, and I'm hoping that now we see from Yarrow what the team wanted from Akan. That goal line save is fantastic, man. Fantastic. And he kept us in the game. I think a 2-1 is a much different game. Around what time did that happen, though? I don't know exactly.
It was the 40th minute.
Jeez, yeah, that
40th minute. So it was after the injuries, after the injury, after Elijah came off, obviously up 2-0. Right. That could have definitely changed things going into the half. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, how this team, we've consistently given up goals leading into halftime or leading into the end of the match. Mm-hmm. And so that would have been another example. Obviously, just kind of the ball's just kind of knocking around there, and he just was at the right place at the right time. But it's one of those instinctual things you can't teach. And those kind of things earn you more minutes, because that could have definitely changed the halftime speech. It could have changed the second half. It could have changed the entire result. So massive shout out to Yarrow.
Mentally, it's huge. The other team thinks they're facing a wall, and that wall's name was Yarrow. Mm-hmm. And so I do think it does, when you feel like nothing's going to go in for us today, especially when you see the other team pull that kind of stuff off. It's disheartening as the other team who's trying to score. We've seen that from our perspective sometimes, where it just feels like nothing's going to go in, right? And so it's I as you said, Steve, I think it's massive and can't be understated how big he's grown from. Definitely the player with the most growth we've seen since game 1 to now. I think in terms of the season with our club, for any player, has been Yarrow and how he's playing. So hope it continues and continue to find more solidity back there, because it is stuff like that makes a clean sheet, right? And that's where you can't get on Austin or Trey too much, is that you still need a little luck like that from a defender, or you need a great clearance, or you need somebody who's coming in with a great run and that defender just to make the perfect tackle to keep that sheet clean. Same thing as a perfect game in baseball or any other sport where you might not be in total control of the defense, even though you might have most of the controls. So really incredible defense from the squad in this game. As we were saying in the last game, harping on where it falls down, this is where it goes right, is having everybody in the right place, and then people make the right plays, right soccer plays.
Yeah, and looking at the stats, 58.4 possession to San Diego Loyal. We had a total of 33% of the aerial duels won. So Galaxy 2 kicked our butt in aerial duels.
They got hops.
Yeah.
They have
also
hops.
they like to bomb the ball, and they like to take. It seems like they work on that a bit, which you feel like we score a lot with our heads, but we should be a little bit better at winning some of those aerial duels for sure.
Oh, 100%. And here's the thing, too. We got 2 goals, but we were tied on shots, 13 apiece. Tied on shots on target, 6 apiece. We had 3 blocked shots apiece, 7 shots outside the box, and 6 shots inside the box. All even with Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
We just managed to get those 2 in. You know, that chip really started something and gave the guys confidence. So it was good to see. I mean, what else do we need to talk about there? There's another clean sheet for Guerrero. That's 2 for 2. That's 2 for 2. 2 free car washes for all the fans. And by the way, for those that are listening that maybe don't know how you get your, I'm hoping we get another clean sheet this year. So I'm going to tell you how you
Hope we
your
get
car
one
wash.
Saturday. Yeah.
Right after the match, they will post a link or they'll tell you text blah, blah, blah. I think the word is like clean to a certain number, and they send you a link where you can sign up, you put in your information, and then they email you a coupon pass thing, barcode thing on your email that you use for a free car wash. So again, for the second time, 2 for 2. Austin, thank you for the car wash, sir. Let's see what else we got. I think that's pretty much it for this match. Oh no, one big thing that we forgot to talk about. Jack Metcalf. I wasn't aware of this, but the injuries are piling up. Drew, I see you making a list down here. Jack Metcalf underwent.
Steve, I think.
Is that Steve? Oh,
that was me.
Okay. Well, we're gonna.
I made other lists.
Jack Metcalf underwent successful surgery to repair his broken clavicle, which the injury was suffered during this Galaxy 2 match. It was near the end. We saw him kind of walk off.
Collarbone for those of you
holding his arm a little bit, right? Kind of like his side there, like this, but it was here, kind of on the, closer to the neck, so the clavicle. Man, now can somebody look up how long does it take to recover from a broken clavicle surgery?
They're actually really common in American football in the gridiron. You see them a lot, and typically players come back 3 to 4 weeks. So it is one of those things where it's for American football, and that's a much more high contact sport, right, in the chest. So there is that. I'm sure running and breathing might be a little bit difficult since it's all part of that chest array of muscles where your lungs are. So there might be some, different stuff there. But if it's a minor fracture of the clavicle versus a major break, all that kind of stuff, obviously could be a pretty minimal timeout in this sport where legs are more important than arms.
3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Is what Taylor said.
Go.
Couple
3
of months.
to 4 months. Yeah. So it depends. And yeah, can you play that? Can you run a lot with that, for 90 minutes straight? That's also kind of a lot of the questions in terms of the severity and what's there. But
yeah. So again, just a bunch of injuries.
Yeah. Before we move on from that, the Metcalf one concerns me because he's been our right back all season. I think he's started every match. I think he's played basically every minute. I can't even really think about who's going to play right back. I kind of feel like maybe Morgan, but he usually plays right outside mid. So I'm almost really concerned about the Metcalf injury more than I am the other 2 that we have listed there, because it just seems like we haven't had a backup right back at all. So I wonder if that's going to mean we're going to sign somebody or who's going to kind of slot out there. I'm just not sure.
Yeah. That and it pulls the whole offense back, as we were saying. It pulls certain players back, further back because he's done such a great job of linking forward and making the passes in or crossing the field in a certain way, and that's just not going to be there because he is a very special player at pushing the ball into certain places that other people don't. So it's going to be up to somebody to make up that production in certain ways, and then maybe we find more link play in ways that we didn't suppose. But yeah, there's definite loss when you have somebody who makes as many passes completed and good passes as he does.
Yeah. Oh, look, Two Boss flexing over here on us. We spoke with Jack today. Okay, must be nice. With your media passes, he's in good spirits and bonded over. Oh, yeah, over being losers. Okay, so anyways, I love you guys. I'm just kidding. I love you. Two balls in the mic. Mainly Chivas. Tony's okay. Uh, just kidding. That's yeah. So I mean, obviously, we hope that Metcalf comes back soon. Hope he recovers well and 100%, and that we can get things going. Luckily, it sounds like it's a common thing in sports that hopefully is something he can come 100% back from.
I hope so. Yeah.
All right, let's get into some locals topics because we're running out of time here.
Wow, we are. That was fast.
Yeah. What is this members meeting we're talking about? What is this?
Well, do we want to do that? Do we want to preview the match real quick, or do we want to?
Oh, I mean, I guess we can.
We can do it after. Let's go. Let's have our meal, and then we'll have our dessert later.
Trying to move this along, and you guys are just like, I'm just kidding.
Here's another thing, Jerry.
And by the way, so here I'm gonna preview it real quick. Real Monarchs is in a 7th place of the Mountain Division. 17 games played, 13 points to show for it. 10 losses, 4 ties, only 3 wins out of 17 matches. I mean, we better destroy these guys. The only win that they've had in the last 5 matches was against Las Vegas Lights, and it was 3-2.
Wow.
It was in July 23rd. Okay. Not doing very good this year, Real.
And we're home, so.
And we're home.
Yeah.
I mean, what more of a preview do you want than that?
That's it. No. That's all I want.
And I had a butterfly fly by my hand today. Yeah, so that's a good sign.
What? Okay. Is
Monarchs?
Like
the Monarchs. The Monarchs.
Did you smack it?
They're monarch butterflies. They're just going to be nice and soft.
I don't think that's the type of monarchs that they are. Real
they should
monarch.
Be. They're way cooler. What? Okay. Oh, the royalty of Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be nice to be back home. That's all I really like to say. This starts a stretch of 4 home matches in basically 3 weeks. We got a midweek game here on the 18th. So, yeah, it'll be nice to be back home. And it kind of starts our second 4-game home stretch of the season. Last time it really kicked off a 9-game unbeaten. So,
let's
hopefully
go.
we can do that again.
Yeah,
good vibes.
So members meeting. Let's get into this. What is this?
Yeah, so we talked about doing a members wide meeting where we hear you guys, listen to you guys. We haven't really picked a date or a time or a place yet, but
we were supposed to do that on Tuesday.
We're talking about it internal. So we're going to figure that
by
out
next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by next week we'll figure that out probably sometime in September, and then we will communicate that appropriately. So it'll be a cool event to get everybody together. We'll try to give as much notice as possible. It probably will be a weeknight just because our weekends are so packed with matches and then away matches. We try to take our weekends seriously as well. So it probably will be a weeknight, but we'll try to communicate that as far ahead as possible so people can adjust schedules if they want to make it.
Nice.
So cool. That's kind of that topic.
Stay tuned for that.
Yes.
And then we also have fundraiser that we're doing right now. Which side are you signing with? This is directly
Loyal Select and CJ Fodry.
This is directly off of the post from San Diego Loyal. 3 teams lead the charge this month as we partner with Rady's Children to raise 100,000. Jeez, that's a great number. 100,000 to benefit the Center for Gender Affirming Care.
I was gonna say, what are we doing? Buying Jack Grealish? No, we're helping the Center for Gender Affirming Care here. That's what
Loyal
we're doing.
to inclusion. Join the competition. Help us reach our goal of 100,000. There's 3 teams that you can join. San Diego Loyal front office, right? You have the Loyal Select group, who, by the way, is a top team right now. I'll tell you the numbers where we're at. And then the Loyal supporters groups, which is the locals, the Chavos, Los Chavos de Loyal, and it's Rainbow Loyal. So all of the supporters groups are one team. We're in 2nd place. We're beating the front office, by the way, which is fantastic. And then we have Loyal Select, who's kicking everybody's ass right now. $2,549 We're at 1,200. Not too shabby.
Not too
Yeah, we got
shabby.
to step it up. Come on, guys. What are we doing?
And I have a
We
feeling
got a
that
bunch of kids.
okay, but
What are we doing?
listen. I feel that the reason that Loyal Select is winning is because part of the Loyal Select team is Shannon McMillan, who
Oh.
has her own. She's the top individual right now. She herself has raised $2,399. As a matter of fact,
She's
I'm
a
not even
shark
sure
of,
They got
of
the
the
ringer,
Belmar
yeah.
kind.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not even fair. No,
She's, yeah.
hey, shout out to our very own Nicole Peterson, who's in second place as top individual right now, and she is beating out Landon Donovan. So
Woo.
just saying, Landon, we're up there. So we're definitely kicking some butt here. It's good. Let's keep going and go ahead and look for the link on our social media. We should have it up on Twitter. I think it's on Instagram. Go to the San Diego Loyal social media as well. Of course, they'll have the link there, so you can go and donate. And it's for a great cause, loyalty inclusion,
Yeah.
raising money to benefit the Center for Gender Affirming Care. So
We'll be doing
go
this
ahead.
all month, right, Jerry? All
Yep,
month?
all month.
Yeah, so get
All
everybody involved, not just yourself. You sign up this week, and then make sure by next week, okay, we're going to remind you again. Get a couple people in your head. Who am I going to recommend this to? This is a great thing that is can't be supported enough because it is going to give it's directly
We're saying
to
that
people who need
the traditional ways that Radies and other they can fundraise by doing walks or other things still is kind of hard to put on. I think that their main fundraisers earlier in the year, and obviously COVID was kind of bad twice.
Yeah.
And for 2 years in a row, in March and April. So then they couldn't do those kind of things. So this is kind of the way for Loyal to pay back to their partners who have really been so good to them too, to really kind of do this. And the whole idea behind the teams last year, obviously it was Team Landon, Team Nate, and Team Carrie. And this year they just kind of did it a little bit different. We were approached and said, yeah, this would be a really cool idea for the supporters to really show that, we're not just there for game day, but we're here for the community as well. To be able to, flex our muscle a little bit and say, we've got a lot of members, we've got a lot of influence, and let's kind of show that here. So it's a really rad thing that we were kind of included in.
Nick, thank you for saying this. So the Loyal Select jersey is now on sale and available
cool.
at the shop. 25% of that purchase is going to the same exact cost. And just to read off of what RadyFoundation.org website says, members of the San Diego Loyal team are working together to raise funds for Rady Children's Center for Gender Affirming Care, which provides essential clinical, psychological, and social support for children, teens, and youth in our community with gender dysphoria and related healthcare needs. Every dollar will fuel the center's programs and multidisciplinary team of mental health, endocrinology, and adolescent medicine experts, providing individuals with greater access to comprehensive evidence-based care. It's a really important cause, and it's a great cause that we can all help and lend a hand to. We are at almost $4,000 raised out of the 100,000 that they want to raise. We have a long way to go, but we just started. It's early, so let's get it going, guys. Again, look for all those links on social media and be a part of something awesome. And also to add to something awesome, tomorrow, as of recording, we have something going on that's very exclusive to only that group of the San Diego Loyal supporters groups.
exclusive.
We have been invited to a training session.
Are you on the list?
Are you on the list?
That's the guy at the
We're gonna have some. Actually, we are gonna have somebody checking, making sure you are a member of a supporter group in order for you to make it in. So Los Chavos de Loyal, Rainbow Loyals, and the locals, all members are invited to training session. You do have to be a member of one of those groups to be able to make it in. Otherwise,
we got a couple questions about kids. Kids are fine. We're not going to be like, your kids aren't members. That's
Disneyland
not the whole point
rules.
of this. Yeah, for sure. But
we should be keeping them kids.
Just to clarify that, but we had been bugging. I know we teased this a little bit last week, but we had been bugging them about doing this because it's kind of the cool, members only thing. And so we finally agreed on a date with the club, and that is tomorrow. And then on behalf of the greatest good of 109, and we really love what Chavos are doing, and we love what Rainbow Loyal are doing. So kind of reached out to them and invited them to the event. Wanted to make sure that they kind of got in on the experience, because they go hard for 90 just like we do. They give back to the communities just like we do. So we kind of reached out and extended this to our fellow supporters groups, and I really look forward to tomorrow, because I think it's going to be a super, super cool, fun event for our members and their members to really get like a glimpse, right? I mean, we pour our hearts and souls in on match days, and this is kind of a cool way to say, well, what's training like? How's Landon when he's not wearing the suit and the scarf? Like, how's Coach Nate when he's not, wearing the tracksuit on the bench? Like, it's really kind of curious to see that stuff. How are the guys who are traditionally backups, right? Like, how are they in training? Like, it's just kind of a cool thing. So yeah, like Jerry said, it's exclusive, and it should be a really rad event. So if you guys are on the fence, please make it out. The event starts at 5:30 is when we'd like everybody to get there. Training starts at 6. We were informed by the club that parking will be enforced. So you got to pay for parking until 7. So it's like an hour and a half. I don't know how much that is, but just if you are listening and you are going, make sure you pay for parking. That's kind of a bummer, but it just kind of is what it
free.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You breathe in this town, you're paying for parking. So
good point. But that'll be a really cool thing. I'm really, really looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah. Cool. And then what else we got?
This is the part where the club reminds you that your match ticket actually includes a $5 parking fee built into the ticket, which is actually part of it. That's why you don't pay for parking when you come for the match, which is nice. You don't have to think about it. But we will pay there. But I'm excited for this Saturday pregame, because we've had our bums parking lot. We've had some stuff in and out. One of the things that will be going on this Saturday, which is exciting, is that we have a new merch product. Jerry, give me the horns. I gotta make my own horns over here.
Sorry.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm just maybe you were looking at two. I thought you were looking at 2 ball saying Nate safe for work.
Nate
safe for work over there.
Nate safe for work.
But yeah, so we'll have a new merch product, which is, we've talked about it a little bit, which is patches. We've been trying to get some patches together, and Travis had some wonderful designs. They look beautiful. They've come out as amazing patches. They're not that like basic patch. They're like good, solid patches. I would be proud to put this on my merit badge sash of any kind. So I'm a big fan of these patches, but you will be able to get them as an exclusive starting at the parking lot on Saturday. They will go on sale later online generally, but if you are in town, if you are coming to the match, if you are a local, come to the parking lot. Get some stickers. $15, Steve? Is that what we're talking about for these?
Yeah, we're going to do them as 4-packs only. 4-packs only, so they're four patches. I know I teased one last week, and maybe we'll tease some more after hours. But for now, all we're going to say is, four patches, $15. They're iron-on patches, about 3 inches across each. Jerry, I know you have a sweet jacket that you wear, or vest that you wear, I'm sorry. And I've been seeing them more and more, so kind of a really rad spot to kind of collect this kind of stuff, and we'll definitely be doing more of them. So if you guys are like on the fence about starting a place where you can collect this kind of stuff, I think we're going to be doing some more of this going forward, because it's kind of a cool way to, like, show your history and how long you've been around, and show what, we do some cool designs. We can make a patch of them, and you can put them on your clothes, like so.
Your backpack.
Yeah, it's kind of
whatever.
the first of many. The first of many.
Totally. I have a jacket, Steve, and it's much bigger than Jerry's vest because I'm a larger person. It is way too hot, but it also does. It's too much space, so I need more patches.
Yeah.
For my giant jacket size versus Jerry. Jerry's already filling up his vest. He's already got a bunch of.
One patch and it's already covered. Like
the Tom and Jerry way, right? But it's the.
Just to iterate what Drew was saying, we're going to do this as a parking lot exclusive because Drew said this very well from the very beginning. We are an in-person supporters group. If you want to come and get merch, you need to come and hang out with us. Like, we will have them online eventually if we don't sell out, but we might sell out. We didn't order a whole lot of these. I would say limited edition to an extent. But yeah, definitely come out, get some beers, come check out the patches, and kind of have your chance to buy them because we want you guys to come out. It's kind of the whole point. So,
what's merch without a
kind
story?
Of the cool thing we're doing.
Yeah, I have one of my favorite scarves. I love all my local scarves; they're fantastic. And I'm going to have a lot of memories that are baked and seeped into each one, as well as other fluids. But the one that I love the most is my timber scarf I have, because I bought it the night I went to go watch the double post game. It's not even that great of a scarf. It's actually a decent scarf, but it's not an Army scarf. It was just the promotional, like harkening back to their 1975 logo with their current logo, and it's okay, but it's from the year they won the title, and from the year that I was at the game that was one of the most memorable games they've ever played. So it became a thing where I love that merch because of the story, right? And the same thing with the patches, same thing with the shirts we're wearing. It's only great if it has a memory that's tied to it, right? And something that actually is built on top of where that merch is coming from, right? So that's where we've always looked at it that way. So I'm excited to see everybody there, and this is something we'd love to do more of as we get more in-person events, is being able to sprinkle things out there and make more stuff available to you in person that maybe can't be made available online just because of shipping or whatever else as well.
Or just because we want you to come out and get it.
Yeah,
simple.
Come hang out.
I would say, that these patches are very exclusive, just like what you would get, when you're in like the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or whatever, and you have to earn these patches. These patches
Local
have
Scouts.
to be earned. How you earn them, you ask? By giving us
Well
$50. That's how you do it. So just to make sure that you bring your money with you, and earn those patches at the Bums parking lot this Saturday. And that's going to do it for us. We're completely out of time. These guys sure know how to talk. I try to calm them and tell them not to talk so much. They don't listen. I just really want to hear my voice more, but I'm not allowed to because these guys just keep talking. And so I just wanted to make sure that everybody's so. I'm just kidding. I'm having like one of those nights today where I'm just like making fun of you guys, and it's not cool. I'm sorry, guys.
I'll take it.
Let's just say
we talked a lot tonight.
What is that?
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca? Oh.
He came in to train wreck the end of the show here. That's what he did.
It's working.
I was going to say that Steve is going to get, we should come up with merit badges. That's the next thing we should have, supported merit badges. Steve is going to get a drum head changing merit badge this weekend. So
I think I am.
Yeah, so there's different levels you can earn, right? You can songwriting merit badge. There you go. There's a new drum head right there. So we'll be back in service. For anybody who saw the unfortunate breakage, we went down one drum then another after the last. Sometimes you just bang them out, and that's a half season here. We need a new drum head for the second half, so we're ready to go. There's the visual. This is why you tune in.
Notice how I said we were done, we're over, but these guys are still talking. See what I mean?
There we go. We're still talking. But we're actually doing a show and tell, Jerry. So we're not just talking, we're actually showing as well.
Jerry, this is your fault. You asked Drew what his Chewbacca thing was.
You opened the door, and I brought us to here. But Jerry wants an end of the yes. Jerry wants an end of the podcast merit badge. That's what Jerry wants. He's the only one who knows how to do it, because otherwise we would just be talking till the game started on Saturday. Apparently.
Thank you guys for being here for episode 47, car washes and donuts. We're gonna go ahead and close it out. That's it for us. We might be here a little bit afterwards, just a little bit, because I have things to do tomorrow, y'all. Y'all need to let me sleep. This one getting all cranky today. Also, I'm out of beer, so I need a refill. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you at the game on Saturday. Loyal against Real Monarchs coming to visit here in town. See us at Bum's Parking Lot. All information on our social media. Follow us there at the Locals SG. All right. See you guys later. Bye. We good.
Jerry, you can just mute us. That's always the option.
I know I can, but I'm just joking with you guys. It's no fun if I mute you.
Taylor, I can also unmute
I'm
myself.
not actually being serious. I'm just being
We just it's more like Jerry just stares at us while we slowly take it. It's like the Aboriginals say that if you take a picture of him, it steals their soul. If Jerry hears two white guys explain soccer to him, it slowly takes a bit of his soul.
It's a gag today.
Park pass. That's a great one.
And give me one of those. Bring it over here. Oh,
it'd be so cool if you
Thanks
had
for the
one.
pour.
I'm like reaching behind my computer trying to get it. Whatevs, dude. So what's happening? Are you gonna show the good people here that are still with us some patches?
Yeah, we're gonna do some patch teas. I was gonna put them over my chest, over my areolas.
Do you have yours close? Do you guys have yours close?
No, mine. No,
they might be in one of these backpacks.
I can go get it though.
Mine's inside. I can go get mine too.
It'll be funny to mute them also, Taylor. Okay, I'll do it next time. Actually, you know what? I'll do it right now. I can just there. Now actually talk to me, fool. Now you're muted. See? Yeah, no. Can't hear you. Oh, this is great. I love this so much. All right, you're back. Dude, we still hear you moving things around over there. You're crazy.
I know, that's the funniest part. Is you can still hear the zipper on the backpack.
Okay, so
I don't know where I put my patches. I have them somewhere.
What happened? See? Oh no, he's muted.
Somebody muted me, which is
man. That's messed up. Who's muting you? Sorry. Taylor told me.
Fine, you guys get no patches.
See? Wow.
It was Jerry.
So this is the one I showed last week. The traditional crest.
I like it.
It really is like it's very well done. And shouts to Eileen again, as always, for procuring all this stuff. Okay, guys, which one next? What should I do next? I'll go to the other one. So this is one that we have been a design that Travis did a while ago, and you might have seen these at the matches, standing on a 2-stick in front of our section. That's this one.
Yeah,
that's this patch right here.
It looks like you could put that and be a member of the locals mail carriers.
I'm gonna get a satchel and like a teal green shirt, Borka shirt.
I'm gonna try and hand that to my mail carrier.
Some tall white socks and some work boots.
That's actually a really good supporter's uniform with the sun hat. You would be like really well protected.
Oh, dude, with the sun hat,
breathable.
Yes,
an orange sun hat.
Yeah.
And then one of the themes of the year is this one, this puppet. Another really good, really good one.
So you see that Drew's shirt back there?
Yeah, I got the shirt back there.
So nice.
The shirt. And now you can get the patch. There you go.
And then finally, the fourth one, the traditional circle bomb.
Hey.
The circle bomb.
The traditional circle bomb. Those are the four.
What happens? Yeah. When you put a circle around a
bomb.
bomb.
All packed up. Mr. Travis did an incredible job. He's kind of how he did the sticker sets. He did the patch set, kind of a header, some Ziploc baggies. We're gonna pack all those up and be able to sell them as an easy 4-pack. So those will be sick.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm about to find a spot to put them on because I don't.
Oh, you didn't show him the 5th patch?
What?
Nice.
That's a San Diego Sockers. Nice.
Yeah, I just found a patch behind me. I was like,
nice. I was nervous there for a minute. There actually is a 5th patch. And that patch is for volunteers. Everybody who volunteered for Radies will get a patch on the locals. So that one will be free.
Exclusive.
And I need to talk to Tom about getting a list that he can manage and pass those off to him so he can manage who has and hasn't gotten their patches, etc. So I'm not sure if that'll happen this weekend. I hope it does, just because if we're selling them, we can get those out too. But I'll work with Tom on that side of things. I imagine he will. Tom is amazing. He gets stuff done in like 1 hour. It's gnarly.
And this is where, again, you do stuff we never promised it up front, but sometimes stuff comes back in the end that's pretty cool.
Nice.
There you go. That's a cool patch.
can put that one with all your other patches on here.
So those are our patches. Our
Patches.
thank you for everybody sticking on. All what?
They're
9 of
iron
you.
on though, Steve. They're not.
Yeah,
sticking
for
on.
ironing on. Perfect.
Oh, Jerry.
That'll be cool. I look forward to
I
that.
got one of those too.
What? Nice.
I got one somewhere.
What? I got 4.
Do you have one of these?
I don't know what that is.
It's
Snow.
Paul Topier's
Paul Topier's.
brewing some. Yeah. It's the shiny
Oh,
one.
cool.
Put on some chapstick and now my lips are all sticky. I got
Loyal
4
color. It's loyal colors though, so it's cool.
because I have 4 season tickets because there's 4 of us in my family. That's why. In case people are like,
Damn,
"Oh,
Jerry.
it's extras." No. I don't.
Damn.
Western Exterminator.
Well, and
That was another thing that was
Oh,
by my door.
Can we do a
Well-
Tifo with the Western Exterminator and we're the Exterminator and then the little mouse thing, whatever, is like one
Not
of the
Phoenix?
other teams? I don't know, bro.
it's pretty good.
Nah, not Phoenix.
They're a small club. We don't really need to abandon
I
them.
don't care about them. We'll make
Should
them
be
mad.
yeah. I still don't know why they haven't just embraced like whole, Tusken Raider thing. Just don't get it.
Yeah.
The Star Wars thing.
Just take it
Yeah.
in. Just be the Tusken. Just like they did that while you're trying to goal kick. Like that would be so annoying.
Excuse me, pardon me, sorry, that was me. It almost sounds like Chewbacca more than it's fucking.
They are, but they're like it was a different sound. It was a similar like metal grinding sound, which was they say it's a chair across a linoleum floor. That's how they make Chewbacca sound. No, a table.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Like a
makes it
shuddering
sound?
tape, among other things.
Okay. Guys, I'm tired. What else are we gonna talk about? Otherwise, I need to go. I'm tired. I'm trying to like upload this stuff now.
Don't worry about it, man. We got events. We had a signing tonight. We have.
Oh my no! None of us made it. Golly.
Yeah.
I know. Shout
Nick
out
made
Nick.
it.
Naku.
Nick.
I live like
This
an
is why
hour
you
and a
follow
half
Paul
away.
Naku's Instagram.
Yeah.
So you can live vicariously through him. When you can't be at the store, just look at his Instagram. That's like
Oh,
the thing.
what?
real.
On Monday, he's like, "What? There's gonna be a signing on Thursday at 5:30." Funny enough, I'm already here.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
I
I
live
was already
here
planning on
'cause
being there.
that was the idea. Is the merch mansion is they have an apartment there.
Nick was there. Nick was there.
Yeah, Nick
in.
was there. We
I
had
saw that.
Duffy. Duffy was our reporter on the scene.
Right.
You can follow Paul at loyal 13. There you go for all his local related content.
He is local number 13, so that makes sense.
He is
I just
lucky.
every
loyal
time I
local.
see it though, I see it as Loya Loca. Like
Loyal loca.
Loca is like a crazy lady. I don't know.
I'm a
that's just the way
crazy
that-
lawyer.
That's just the way that I read it.
He's tuning in. Look at that. I didn't know he was here.
Oh, that's how
Boom.
a bill becomes a law. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Should watch what I say. I forget he hears everything.
Toby is here too. There you go.
Damn.
Shout out
We
to
got the crew tonight.
Yeah.
Y'all need to go to sleep. What are you still here doing here? Don't y'all work or what?
Had some great yawns.
I was just like,
Was he tired too? He was yawning.
he was yawning.
Yawn.
He's from England, not Boston.
Oh, Nick says he yawn.
That picture though that they posted with him like doing the wink, so fake looking. He's just like,
Oh yeah, it's so funny.
he's like this. I think I did a better job actually than he did.
Speaking of somebody who's tired, is Taylor because he was in Vegas the whole weekend
Taylor is tired.
watching that shit show of a
Final, yeah.
game.
What?
And,
Which one?
They say was in Vegas. The Gold Cup final.
Yeah, he went to the Gold Cup final. Same with a few other. Paul Marshall.
Basically
Was Dave
all-
Chamberlain there? Because he's always.
Oh
there.
yeah, Dave was there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I didn't even have to ask.
Very cool.
I did, but
So you got to see a Gold Cup win.
yeah. Big.
See how many people yawn. Let us know if you yawn because of me, if it's contagious. We'll see. We'll wait. Usually it happens a little, like it takes a little bit.
I just sucked up your yawn.
That's kind of gross.
And now our numbers diminish.
and we
People
lost.
just watch the man eat it. They're like, "Where?"
And they're all gone. Next time they do a meet and greet, they need to bust out the beers. I was a little disappointed. Oh, what? They didn't have beer out there?
We were told they would have beer.
Yeah, there was some conversation about that actually. I almost went out there just for the free beer, but apparently there was no.
Glad you didn't do that.
Yeah.
You just have to survive off the Blakey and the Shakies.
Whose mic keeps making noise? Who's tapping or what is that? I hear like a.
Probably me because I'm rattling.
That's you.
Yeah. Okay. When you turn it up this high, you hear everything. Surprised you can't hear half of Gilmore Girls in the other room.
Nice. Yeah. Nope, can't hear.
That's what's happening right behind me, just back there.
This upcoming match, we will have full leadership status, but the next match, the 14th, neither Drew nor myself will be there. So you locals better be on your best behavior.
Wait, when?
The 14th. The match on the 14th.
Oh.
What he's saying is, there'll be a series of rounds of tests, and then you get per game. So it's like Willy Wonka.
I'll be out in Prescott, Arizona. My wife's grandfather passed away in the heart of COVID, so we couldn't really do the funeral thing. So that's happening on the 14th, the weekend of the 14th, out in Prescott. So that obviously takes precedent, and this is the only home match I'll miss all season. Obviously for good reason. So
Prescott.
C'est la vie, but it is what it is.
Did you say Prescott?
Prescott.
Is it Prescott?
I don't know. It's spelled Prescott, but I believe they say Prescott.
I think they pronounce it Prescott, and it is, It's one of the Versailles, Ohio. So it's named Versailles after Versailles, and then you go there, and they're like, they go there, and you go there, and they're like, it's Versailles.
Really?
You're like,
oh my god.
Wow.
Pretty sure it's kind of like Kansas and Arkansas,
right?
Where they're like,
I'm glad we live in San Diego. San Diego is so great. San Diego?
Yeah. San Diego.
San Diego? Yeah.
Near Tijuana.
Son of a bitch. What is that one? My name is, what's the teacher one? What is like, Aaron?
Ron, yeah. Teacher, the substitute teacher.
Jake Quillen?
Key. We got a Jake Quillen up in here.
What's the name of the podcast?
Blake? That's what I think of whenever I think of Jack Black is Blake. Mm-hmm. Blake?
English is the best.
Did you guys listen to the latest Fairweather pod where Alan goes solo?
No.
Man, shouts to him. He did a badass job. Like that's gnarly. He did like a 45-minute podcast on his own.
It was like being inside Alan's head, which was
crazy.
Actually nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I like.
I was gonna say something about him doing it himself, or being a master. I was gonna say he almost debates with himself.
Oh my god!
But
you're saying if he was a Star Wars character,
everybody who's listening and watching.
God, I got interrupted, and that was such a good joke. But yeah, go ahead, dude.
Didn't hear you were talking. I was gonna say, everybody, please don't. Please renew your memberships. We care about you so much.
We need to actually, we need to stop. We need to stop that now. Like when are we stopping the memberships for this year?
If we had a meeting this week, we would have talked about it.
Oh,
yeah.
So next week we'll talk about it.
We'll figure that out.
It's fine.
We still have something like 50 scarves left, so we should make sure
we'll run out of that. Yeah, there's like a runway there. So I think if we run that out, then that's pretty much it. But
maybe less than 50. I did a rough count before I sat down.
Okay. All right. Well, bye everybody who's still watching. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
I think we're running out of energy. We ran out of beers. Run out of energy.
Out of beer.
I just refilled. So
I just got a little bit. All right, I gotta go though. I need to get this in. Thanks to everybody that stayed. I'm a
Time to
professional.
go.
I'm a professional. Golly. All right. Love you guys. Love everybody here. We'll see you guys very soon. Bye. Have a
Bye.
good
Bye.
night. Bye.